Is Raptor News, and this is Regulus. Today we're going to be talking about Regulus. As everyone knows, we are having another supermoon 2 days from now. February's full moon is the nearest, largest, and brightest full moon of the year. It will appear alongside the brightest star in the constellation called Leo. Signs, people. Regulus is one of our sky's brightest stars, and the brightest star in the constellation Leo, the lion. The blue-white beauty of a star represents the lion's heart, the heart of Judah that is to be examined, right? It's signs. It ain't facts. It's signs. Regulus rises about an hour after sunset in early February. It's opposite the sun on February 19th, and Regulus rises on that date about sunset and is up all night long, reaching its highest point due south at midnight. Midnight, the hour of destruction, the hour of power. Seeing Regulus rise in the eastern sky at this time of year can only mean in the northern hemisphere that is spring. Right? The north hemisphere is the part of the planet that is north of the equator. It is about 90% of the world's population and most of the world's land. The nations. All of the North America and Europe are in the northern hemisphere. Most of Asia, 2/3 of Africa, and the 10% of South America are also in this hemisphere. So what about Israel? Israel is positioned in the Middle East and is situated in both the northern and eastern hemispheres. Regulus can be found marking the bottom of a large backwards question mark pattern. So let's look at that. Within Leo, known as the sickle. And anybody who reading scriptures and stuff like that, we know what the sickle is. So we're going to be learning about the sickle, right? And so this is the sickle, and this is Regulus at the heart of the beast, right? Or the lion. So it's known as the sickle. The sickle with Regulus at its heart outlines the constellation Leo, the lion, head and 4 quarters. So we have the sickle here. Joel 3:12. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. So we know they're there between Syria and Israel. For there will I sit and judge all the heathen. So they are being judged right now round about. I mean, all of the countries around it, Iran, Iraq, Israel, Syria, all of these countries that's around it is being judged. Russia, China, Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Put you in the sickle. I didn't name it this, you know what I mean? And neither did I match it up to the scripture. It's just match. For the harvest is ripe. Spring is coming, right? And come get you down, for the full press is full. For the press is full. What is the press? It's supposed to be grapes, right? But it's full. But it represents the fullness of the Gentiles, the height of their evil. The fats overflow. So if they in the valley of Jehoshaphat, they're there for war. The fullness of the Gentile and the fats is they're at the height of their evil, meaning that war is imminent, people, at this time. Overflow. For their wickedness is great. So what is he calling these nations? Wicked. The wicked shall rule the earth, right? Multitudes and multitudes in the valley of decision. That means the nations, the Gentiles, the heathen. For that day of the Lord is near. Or for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Same thing it says at the time of fig in the spring, right? That God is at the door. So from the moon and the star Regulus all the way up into the sickle in the constellation Leo, is all marking something. So now you have the Grim Reaper with the sickle in his hand. So let's read some more. Revelations 14:15. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, Thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. What are they going to be reaping? Souls, right? Matthew 13:30. Let both grow together unto the harvest, and in the time of the harvest I will say to the reapers, Gather you first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, which are the nations. But gather the wheat into my barn, which we know all of Israel is going to be saved. So, a lot of signs, people. I didn't say facts again. I said signs. Because everything you say, somebody want to write it off as fact. So they can come later and say, see, I told you you were wrong. We don't know when God is going to do what, but we know by the signs that the harvest is right. The sickle is right there. The season, they in the valley of Jehoshaphat, and the angel of death is waiting to do his due. Let's wrap the news.